I'm a good child of the suburbs and grew up not understanding much about the world, at least in the ways that I've come to understand it in all the years since. And one of the things, maybe the thing more than anything else, that turned my head around and that set me off in the direction that I set off in was starting to read Wendell Berry. And I am not alone in that. There is, I think, no writer in the country who has made more of an impact, not only by the beauty of his words and the power and integrity of his thought, but also by sheer dint of persistence. When Wendell Berry took up the cudgels for the idea that we needed an end to the insane corporate agriculture that marked America and a return or a leap forward to something local and sustainable. This was 30 years ago, and there weren't but 5 or 10 farmers markets in this country. Farmers markets for the last 10 years have been the fastest growing part of our food economy. Every one of those farmers markets, at some level, owes some part of its existence to Wendell Berry. And to the writing that he so powerfully did, not only his essays, he's our greatest. You'll notice in your program that there's a little description of Wendell, and it says there's a quote from the New York Review of Books. I didn't put this program together, but there's quotes. Perhaps our greatest moral essays, the New York Review of Books. Well, I believe, wrote that review 20-some years ago. And the only thing I would change now, over time, it's become clear that there's no perhaps about it. He's not only big moral essays, but also the sheer, unbelievable beauty of the human and natural world that he has described in his poetry and his novels and his stories is defy anyone to read much of Wendell Berry and not in some part of them. One, to move to Kentucky and become a farmer. The sense of integrity that marks the world that he has limbed out in those many books is one of the great American literary treasures, and one of the great human treasures. I'm so glad